Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. We're going to talk about a very scary word. Not scary to me, but it seems to be scary to a lot of other people. The word I'm talking about, of course, is boycott. Yes, everyone seems to be deathly afraid of the word boycott because of the ramifications that it may bring about, because they don't want to be associated with such an aggressive, non-aggressive action. But I'm gonna discuss where I'm at with it. I'm gonna discuss what I think is going on, and then I'm gonna let everybody know what the best course of action would be in this situation. But before we take any action, I need y'all to take that one action that y'all always take for me. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Then Be Real with D Real page so that when new material comes out, you get alerts. If you're digging, what a brother shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page. Okay. Here's what's been going on. Okay. There's been a lot of chit chat, jibber jabber here and there about boycotting Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Tiny Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, by the way. And there have been some people, well, I'll tell you the three trains of thought that I have had to deal with. First train of thought, ironically, comes from pro recasters. And I ain't got no beef with pro recasters, even pro recasters who say we ain't boycotting. Because what a lot of people don't understand about a boycott is a choice. Okay? People can choose to boycott just like they can choose not to boycott. Okay? People are okay with pro recasters not wanting to go see Wakanda Forever. They're even fine with pro recasters sharing the opinion that they are not going to see Wakanda Forever. They're even cool with people who have stated they're not going, talking to other people who have also stated that they're not going. They're even cool with groups of these people being together on different social platforms talking about not going to see this movie. But when these people who are in a group together in agreement with what they want to do call that action a boycott, that's when folks start getting nervous. That's when folks start getting triggered. That's when all the funky accusations come. That's when people start telling you what they think you should be doing or what you should not be doing. As far as pro recasters are concerned, and they are sticking to the tenets of the petition, which was laid out by E-Man, okay, I can respect that. If you choose to stay the course and remain, kind of sedentary, that's cool. That's perfectly cool. However, you cannot tell other people what they can and cannot do simply because they do not agree with your course of action. I've had people say to me, I ain't boycotting the movie. I'm going to see the movie. I can't do anything about that. I'm not going to sit here and be like, come on, man, come on now. You know you need to before for T'Challa. If you've made up your mind, you ain't going. That's not me. I'm not the cat that's going to be on your bumper talking about this is why you need to go and this is all the reasons you need to go. I might be displaying those reasons on my page. I might talk to other people about those reasons on my page, but I am not directing those reasons at people who do not want to boycott the movie. As I said, boycotting that movie is a choice. If people choose to boycott it based on what they've heard, that's their choice. It might be my influence to a lesser degree, but it's still choice driven. Lest we forget, boycott, withdraw from commercial or social relations with a country, organization, or person as punishment or protest. Example, we will boycott all banks which take part in the loan scheme. A punitive ban that forbids relations with certain groups, cooperation with a policy, or the handling of goods. Okay, and if you look right up under the first definition that says it's a verb, words or terms that are similar. Spurn, snub, cold shoulder, shun, and avoid. And in case we need a formal description, look at the blue. A boycott is an act of non-violent, voluntary abstention from a product, person, organization, or country as an expression of protest. It is usually for moral, social, political, or environmental reasons. Social and moral, definitely. The purpose of a boycott is to inflict some economic loss on the target or to indicate a moral outrage to try to compel the target to alter an objectionable behavior. Now, whether you are pro-recast or pro-recast that don't want to boycott, the definition of boycott fits pretty conveniently in what you want to see happen. You're telling me that if a bunch of us who are pro-boycott don't go see that movie and the effect causes an economic deficit for said franchise, and that in turn prompts them to say, oh, we've made a mistake based on the economic loss that we've entailed, we are probably going to look at recasting T'Challa in a third movie. What did I do that was out of pocket? What did I do that I didn't have a right to? What did I do that didn't benefit the movement? Okay, where we're at with this is some good old-fashioned Martin Luther King, Malcolm X thought process. Okay, some people feel like, oh, you're not going to recast T'Challa? Well, we're going to sit here until you recast T'Challa. Cool, but that ain't proactive. Over here on the other end, where we say, boycott, if you don't recast T'Challa, you won't get a shred of our money. This is people who already agree that this is a course of action they want to take. Whether it's based on them coming to that conclusion on their own or because they heard facts or information from someone like myself or another content provider that made them say, that makes sense to me. I agree. We should boycott. Guess what, anti-recasters? There ain't nothing you can do about that. Guess what, pro-recasters who don't want to boycott? There ain't nothing you can do about that. So since there's nothing you can do about it, stop complaining about it. Stop bringing it up. If it's your right to say, I want to see T'Challa recast and I'm going to sit here until you recast T'Challa, then it is very much my right and people like me to say, I have a right to not give any of my money to that project. I don't have to give my money to that project if I don't want to. I'm protesting it. I don't like where they're going with it morally. You can't take a man's death and turn it into fanfare and call it a love gesture or call it honoring or respect. I mean, you could call it that. You can call it that. But just like I'm telling you about this boycott thing, I got issue with what you call an honor. I can't do nothing about you calling it honor except say that's not honorable. And you can say, I disagree, fuck off, or whatever you want to say in response to me. But I can't stop you from saying this is being done to honor Chadwick Boseman and the character of T'Challa. I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to regurgitate it. So are you non-recasters and squeamish pro-recasters beginning to understand where we're coming from? That we're not toxic, we're not misogynists, we're not crazy. We just don't agree with what you're saying. And as far as anti-recasters, you can be mean and crazy and nutso and start saying mean, crazy things. But if you're saying mean, crazy things to me, but you're calling me toxic, you're cussing me out and people like me at the top of your lungs, but I'm toxic. Make it make sense, okay? If you do not want to take part in Boycott Wakanda Forever, nobody is forcing you to. I'm sure as hell not. If you agree and we in agreement, then that means we like-minded and ain't nobody forcing nobody to do anything. Ain't nobody coaxing nobody to do anything. If you listen to my videos or one of these other content providers' videos and you hear something in it that convicts your heart, that moves your thought process and causes you to change your current course of action, no, I'm not going to, as a content provider, I'm not going to take credit for that. If you just want to be part of the movement, then you want to be part of the movement. That's how I take that. I don't take it like I threw some media sorcery on you and ensorcelled your mind and changed it from what it was before. No, I didn't change anything. I just presented the catalyst that caused you to see things in a different light. That is that mind control? Am I coaxing? Am I forcing you to do anything? No. I saw somebody put that comment like that in one of my videos the other day, and I'm like, how am I forcing people? How? That's an oxymoron. You can't force somebody to boycott unless you hold a gun to their head. If I agree, I want to boycott, that's not forcing me. That's a choice. If somebody hears what I say and in their mind they say, I want to boycott, that's not me forcing them. That's a choice. I'm not forcing anybody to do shit. I don't understand where that kind of, well, actually, I do understand where that kind of thinking comes from. If it didn't concern you, if you weren't concerned about it, if it wasn't a cause for, this could be a bad precedent, you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that to me. If what you want is me to not go see the movie, done. I'm already there. That means we're in agreement, anti-recasters. You don't want me at the movie, and I don't want to be there. That's called agreement. So do that mean we on the same team now? No, it doesn't. It just means people can agree to disagree without all of this funk, without all of these toxic diatribes, without all of these dissertations that only come with a portion of the facts, or in some cases none, or in worst case scenarios, just regurgitated information that you don't even have any understanding about. Here's my advice. If your introduction to T'Challa, the Black Panther, was in Captain America Civil War, you have a very, very, very minuscule understanding of the character, as well as that character's importance to Black representation. T'Challa, the Black Panther, was created to support the concept of Black representation. Shuri didn't come along until 2005. T'Challa's been around since 1966. No one is saying those two characters cannot peacefully coexist. But to take one out and replace them with another, that is clearly trying to drive a wedge between Black men and Black women. Don't fall for the okie doke, y'all. You can have Shuri and T'Challa at the same time. You had them in Black Panther. Why can't you have them in Wakanda forever? But I'm not going to go into that because that's a whole nother video. But in closing, boycott is not a bad word. Boycott is not an evil word. Boycott is not something we should not be doing. According to the definition, boycott is totally what we should be doing. If they are not even listening to us, if they are not even coming to the table to talk, all they're doing is letting the media talk for them, all they're doing is letting the media drive the narrative, then we should not put any economic effort into Wakanda forever. If you agree with that, don't put any economic effort into Wakanda forever. Okay? Pick a word that suits you. You know what? You pick a word. Y'all pick a word. You folks that aren't comfortable with the word boycott, boycott. You folks that are not comfortable with the word boycott, y'all find a different word to use. I'm not the one that needs to find a different word to use. If anything, folks that are squeamish about the word boycott need to grow a pair, draw a line in the sand, and stand on it. Not on one side or the other. You know what I mean? Clearly stand, take a stand and say, this is where I'm at. I am firmly in the place of doing nothing, and that makes me fine. That makes me feel good. If you don't want to be that cat, then don't be firmly in the place of not doing anything. Don't be firmly in the place of being sedentary. Don't be firmly in the place of saying no action is action too. Meanwhile, all we got is, let's continue to state it. Let's continue to hold hands, you know, and that's cool if that's where you at with it. Y'all do y'all. But in the meantime, I feel like I ain't doing anything unless I'm doing something. And isn't doing what this is supposed to be all about, not just sitting around watching and waiting, you know? We've seen the hand that Marvel's played. So why should we sit around waiting for them to continue to do what they're doing? Got something to say about it? Make sure it's respectful. I match energy. That's all I'm going to say about that. Drop it in the comments. And as always, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.